Coming up on Mountain News at 6, folks impacted by the July 2022 flood only have a few days left to appeal their FEMA decisions. And the Kentucky All-A Classic is underway in Corbin. More about what it means for the city to host the tournament for the first time.
Plus, more wet weather is on the way tonight and tomorrow. Those details coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
Folks impacted by the July 2022 flood only have a few days left to appeal their FEMA application decisions. That is, unless an extension request is approved. WYMT's Olivia Calfee sat down with a local disaster response attorney to discuss what this means for flood survivors.
Hi there, this is Whitney Bailey with Apple Red Legal Aid. How are you doing today?
Following July 2022, disaster response attorney Whitney Bailey has spent the majority of her workday helping flood survivors with FEMA appeals. But as of now, the deadline to appeal is Monday.
Even if someone hasn't appealed ever, so long as they get an appeal in by Monday, January 29th at midnight, that keeps your application open and moving forward. But if you do not have something currently submitted where you are waiting to hear back from FEMA, or if you're unsure, I strongly recommend that you submit an appeal.
Saying a deadline extension has been requested but has not been granted. However, Bailey says she is remaining hopeful.
Whether it's 3 or 6 months, anything would be amazing at this point. So we can still try to do some more outreach, try to capture more survivors.
Saying she knows the work is not finished because flood survivors can't stop now.
We had 2 new clients added to our case management system yesterday. It's really important for the flood survivors to get this deadline extended because it gives them more opportunity to obtain that supporting documentation, specifically the contractor estimates for home repairs. A lot of people in Eastern Kentucky are still really struggling with that.
And the work must continue in order to get flood survivors back on their feet.
We submitted an appeal form because that deadline, and it should take 5 to 10 days for FEMA to
in Prestonsburg, Olivia Calfee, WYMT Mountain News.
For more information on getting help with a FEMA appeal, you can find this story on our website, WYMT.com. We have an update on a story we first told you about last night at 11. KSP troopers say they found a man who had went missing dead this morning. 34-year-old Jerry Foley was found near railroad tracks in the Sunshine community of Harlan County. He was last seen during the first winter storm early last week. Foley's body was sent to the state medical examiner's office in Frankfort for an autopsy. A former Somerset police officer has pleaded guilty in connection with stealing drugs from the police department's evidence room. 45-year-old Michael Carell pleaded guilty to multiple charges of burglary, tampering with evidence, and receiving stolen property, among others. Carell pleaded guilty to 22 counts altogether. His sentencing is set for February 29th. Also in Pulaski County, 3 people are facing charges following a drug bust. Detectives were monitoring a home where meth trafficking was suspected. They saw Larry Ellison and Robert Allen leave the home and pulled them over. Deputies say they found 58 grams of meth in Allen's pocket. Authorities then searched the home where they say they found Rebecca Allen Garlandios trying to flush drugs. All 3 are facing drug charges. A London man is facing multiple charges after police say he was involved in a fight with a woman. Deputies with the Laurel County Sheriff's Office arrived at the scene at a home off Pine Top Road about 6 miles from London on Sunday. Deputies reportedly noticed injuries that a woman suffered in a fight with Nicholas Hubbard. The victim claimed Hubbard punched and choked her. Hubbard was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center.
A widespread soaking rain is on tap this evening that will linger into much of your Thursday as well. Up on the radar right now, we are tracking some light to moderate showers across the mountains, some heavier pockets of rain not too far away from Barberville and Knox County, also stretching into Breathitt County, close to Salyersville and Magoffin County. Also some heavier pockets of rain not too far away from West Liberty and Morgan County, stretching into Elliott County at this hour as well. A few spotty sprinkles in the Big Sandy Valley from Pike County into Dickinson and Buchanan County in Virginia. But even there, some more widespread showers are likely as we go into tonight. A live look across the mountains. We are gloomy, also soggy on this Wednesday evening. So if you have those plans, be sure to pack the umbrella. Check out these temperatures, though. We are well above average for late January. Most of us in the 50s and 60s, up to 65 in Harlan, 56 in Manchester, also London, and 59 over in Somerset at this hour. More mild weather is on tap tonight. Lows in the middle to lower 50s as more widespread showers are likely, and once again some of those could be on the heavy side. More heavier rainfall for early Thursday, then a little bit of a break on Friday. Those details on the way in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, you can really hear the rain coming down right now on top of us here at the station. Well, today was another day for kids in some Kentucky school districts to stay home. That was the case in Pulaski County. And while the weather has warmed up considerably this week, school leaders there say the roads did not look like they would be safe for buses this morning. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on the decision to keep the learning at home for another day.
Pulaski County school leaders say they had a difficult decision to make Tuesday afternoon.
We just erred on the side of caution. You know, I would rather have a few parents or grandparents mad, you know, that we didn't have school versus the other, having an accident or getting a child hurt or killed.
Wednesday was an I Learn Day, meaning students stayed home and teachers came to school. Transportation Director Tim Wood says a check of the roads late Tuesday afternoon discovered a lot of them in both the extreme north and south side to be icy and snow covered.
But the back roads and stuff that, you know, like you said, doesn't get sunshine and aren't able to be scraped, you know, very well, then, you know, it just gets packed down. That just takes that much longer to get rid of it.
Pulaski County Superintendent Patrick Richardson says unless something unforeseen happens, there will be school on Thursday and Friday. Some parents questioned the decision for Wednesday, but others say they understood. Do you think they should have gone today?
I don't know. I drive a school bus, so.
Oh, you do drive a school bus?
I do drive a school bus, so some of my back roads still may had stuff on them. I don't know.
Pulaski County has 111 bus routes, and some drivers start at their homes. And there was also the concern that some may not have been able to leave their driveways.
And like I said, I'd rather have a few people aggravated that we didn't have school than to have to face that.
Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
School leaders say there was a water line break that impacted some schools last week, but that did not play any role in the decision to call off school for today. Now, there are a few schools that have still called off for tomorrow. You can find those on our website, WYMT.com, and the WYMT News app. This is Children's Advocacy Week, and this year advocates are pushing lawmakers to prioritize Kentucky's children. For 2 decades, Child Advocacy Day has urged lawmakers to support their blueprint for Kentucky's children, an agenda that pushes for legislative priorities that support Kentucky's kids. There are a handful of tasks on this year's agenda, but Executive Director Terry Brooks says a sturdy budget is the key to achieving goals.
We want to make sure that in arenas such as child welfare and juvenile justice, that investments are made upstream.
The Capitol Rotunda was packed this morning with Kentucky students along with state leaders like Governor Andy Beshear. Today, the Senate Transportation Committee approved Senate Bill 75, which would reopen the route between the state capitol and the Capitol Annex to vehicle traffic. The road's been closed since September 2021 after security concerns were raised from KSP and the U.S. Secret Service. The bill is moving to the Senate, where it's been cleared the last 2 years, but has never been taken up in the House. For the first time since the procedure, Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman is opening up about the decision she made to undergo a double mastectomy. Last fall, Coleman had been campaigning with Governor Andy Beshear during their re-election bid, which ended, of course, in a victory. In September, she went for her first mammogram. Coleman ended up having 4 biopsies. Doctors say during the last one of the lesions doctors found had the potential of becoming malignant.
So I was alone that day because you go to the doctor by yourself, right? And so that was hard, but I have to say that the nurses and the doctors who do this all day, every day, right? This could very well become like, you know, an assembly line for them. They were so compassionate and they were so empathetic.
Now back at work, Coleman has received countless cards and well wishes. She's also heard the stories of other women, which is one of the reasons why she chose to share her own story. We will hear much more from the Lieutenant Governor tonight at 11. We are just 1 week away from our winter blood drive here at WYMT. The drive is from 3 p.m. till 7 p.m. next Wednesday, right in front of the station on 199 Black Gold Boulevard in Hazard. All donors will receive a Kentucky Blood Center shirt while supplies last. Officials with KBC say their goal is to gather at least 16 units of blood. Officials with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet announced funding awarded to one county. The Estill County Fiscal Court will receive nearly $54,000 in emergency road aid funds. The funding will be for repairing a draining structure on Driftwood Drive. The All-A Classic basketball tournament is in Corbin this year. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox tells us how the town has geared up to welcome so many visitors.
32 teams from across the state, bringing hundreds of visitors into Corbin for the All-A Classic basketball tournament.
It's huge, not only economic impact, but it's also an opportunity for Corbin to show off.
Mulholland says officials prepared for the tournament with nearby businesses. They want to make visiting teams and fans feel welcome while they are in town.
We've been able to partner with some of our local businesses to offer a great hospitality room,
bringing the local flavor to a place in town they are proud of. With a large capacity, the Corbin Arena is able to host the tournament.
So obviously the arena is a world-class facility, and people, when they step inside, they're always just blown away.
The hard work by officials and staff has already made a good impression for visitors. Chairman Gary Muncie says they have done a great job hosting.
They've been very nice to us here. The city has been great, and the arena staff has been great, and it's worked out well for us.
The tournament runs through Sunday, when a girls and boys champion will be declared. During that time, Corbin will get the opportunity to show off for visitors. In Corbin, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Chairman Gary Muncie says he's unsure where next year's tournament will be, but he says a return to Corbin could be on the table.
Well, keep the umbrella close this evening as more showers are likely. Your forecast coming up after this break. Plus,
one Pike County florist is hoping to reach out to people at nursing homes next month for Valentine's Day with the help of community sponsors.